What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have a play test for you guys, and that's on this boot right here, the Puma 5 Ultra Carbon. And I'm kind of excited for this boot just because I want to know how it feels like on the field. I haven't used this boot since this is my first time using them on the field. And quick disclaimer, I will be using these on AG, which I don't recommend just because these studs are kind of on the longer side. But the AG field is the only field I have that's available to me that's kind of close. I don't really have a firm ground field, which kind of sucks. So I will be using these on AG. I don't recommend it. I'm just going to use them so you guys don't have to. Yeah, ideally you want to use these on firm ground, unless, you know, obviously Puma comes out with an AG version, but I don't think they will come out with the AG version in a carbon sole plate. So anyways, in this video, I'm just going to use the boot. I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about them, give you guys my first impressions on the field. Before we continue, if you guys can like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and we'll get right into the video. Alright guys, so here I have the cleats on feet, and overall the fit is okay. They do run a little long, so I do have some space here in the toe, which kind of sucks. Puma really needs to work on their sizing just because their sizing is kind of crazy in all of their boots. Like you have to go up half size, down half a size, go true to size, but there's going to be a little bit of space. And these boots, I don't know if you guys should go down half a size. They might be too tight in the midfoot. But yeah, it's a little weird, which is, like I said, it's really annoying. But for the most part, they fit pretty well. In the midfoot, there's a decent amount of width. It's not overly narrow. In the toe box, it kind of comes to a point, you guys can see. You have areas here where it does flare out, which for me is normal just because I do have a wider foot. But other than that, they feel pretty comfortable on feet. I'm not gonna lie, they feel pretty good. In the heel, I have noticed already that there is a little bit of heel slippage. Like I said in my first initial review video, I did bring a pair of grip socks, so I probably will switch to those if there's a lot of slippage going on. So far, just moving them up and down, I do feel some movement in the heel. But yeah, we're just gonna juggle for a bit, just try to see how they feel, and then I'll let you guys know later. Alright guys, so I was just juggling for a bit, and so far I don't have any weird spots that kind of hurt my foot. They feel pretty fine. The upper is a bit softer or more pliable compared to the last model, which is nice because then they don't feel as stiff or as plasticky. This upper is actually pretty nice, so I actually really like it. I don't have any weird spots that kind of hurt me here on the side, which is where I usually do have some pinching, but it feels fine. And the touch on the ball, you know, it feels pretty good. It is on the thinner side because this is a pretty thin material. There is no padding to it. And the upper does have this texture that has a little bit of grip to it. And so when I was juggling, I did feel a little bit of grip to it. Maybe just because they're new, and that might go away after some playtime, but we'll see. But yeah, while juggling, I did notice some slippage here in the heel, which is very annoying. Usually I don't really notice that while juggling. You know, I noticed it once I started running with the ball and stuff like that, but just juggling, I feel like there's some movement. So I'm gonna switch to some grip socks that I did bring that have some grips in the heel, so hopefully that helps me. The slippage can be because of the padding, because there isn't really enough padding in the back, and there's also this weird synthetic material that kind of feels slippery or slick. And then also the sizing, because the cleats don't really fit exactly right, there is a little bit of space, and obviously that could cause some slippage, which kind of sucks. And in terms of the sole plate, this actually feels pretty crazy. There's a good amount of stiffness, and you do feel this rocking movement where you kind of just want to be on your toes. So yeah, it feels pretty crazy, but it feels very, very responsive. guys, so taking a little break, and you know, these cleats, they don't feel too bad. They feel pretty good. The slippage, you know, there is still a little bit of slippage, but the grip socks did help. I'm wearing some pure grip socks that have grip in the heel, so this did help a little bit. I do notice that there is still some movement in the heel, but it's not as much as at the beginning, so it did get better. So I guess if you're going through the size, just wear some grip socks, because the padding doesn't really hug your heel all that much. And yeah, I feel like there just isn't enough for like the material they use. It's just too slick. So just wearing grip socks with like grips in the heel, like up the heel. Oh, all right. And the sole plate feels really nice. It's actually very responsive, very stiff, and it just keeps you on your toes. It feels like you just want to sprint and run, and it makes you feel like you're running faster just because there is a good amount of snapback and responsiveness. And like I said, it just keeps you on your toes, I feel like, all the time. So it just feels pretty crazy, to be honest. That's the only way I could describe it. I haven't felt, not even the like X Crazy Fast felt like this responsive. This is like a whole nother level compared to that. And so far these fit pretty nice. No pinching here on the side of my foot, which is where I usually have some pinching because I do have a wider foot. So far they're comfortable. The upper has gotten a lot more softer. And in terms of responsiveness, they're not as responsive as the previous model, just because the upper did get softer and more pliable. And so, you know, that does lead to a little bit more rollover. I kind of noticed it when I was like sprinting and doing the shuffle and then sprinting off. Like during the shuffle, I did notice a little bit more rollover compared to other boots. So in terms of responsiveness, it's not the best. And in terms of the sole plate, like the stud pattern, they obviously are on the longer side. I haven't had like a feeling that I'm getting stuck on this field. Like I said before in my previous videos, this field is on the newer side, so it is pretty deep. And so my studs kind of dig in and they don't feel like they're getting stuck. Like during the shuffles, like I didn't feel like I was in any danger whatsoever. But regardless, you shouldn't be using these on AG. I'm just using them for the video just because I don't have another field. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I've been here for about like an hour and a half. And yeah, it's very hot, it's very sunny as you guys can see. So yeah, the Puma Ultra 5 Carbon is a crazy boot. It feels crazy on feet. But other than that, it's not like a great boot. You know, they do have some issues like the sizing, the heel, and maybe like the stability or like the structure of the upper isn't the best. But I feel like compared to the previous Ultra, I do like it better. I prefer wearing this boot. Maybe if the stud pattern wasn't so crazy and so aggressive, I would actually like it. And if they fix the heel, it would be a really good boot, a solid boot. Also, this is like the carbon model, so they will have a standard like plastic sole plate. So that might actually feel different. It might actually be lighter because this boot honestly isn't so light. It's not like the lightest boot, but it's very responsive. The sole plate feels crazy. Like the snapback you get from this sole plate, and like the sensation of how fast like you're going. Like it feels like you're sprinting really, really fast, and it's just like a crazy sensation. Like I said, I'll take the boots off real quick so I can show you guys. But yeah, you guys can see the boot has gotten so much softer. Like it's nice and pliable. And like I said, the upper itself is kind of thin here, so there isn't a lot of structure. And so when you're cutting or like dribbling and like making like feints and all that, you do feel a little bit of movement. I kind of felt movement here in the back of the heel, like side to side and up and down. So that's kind of annoying. But I guess like grip socks, like these grip socks, and then just tying them very, very tightly does help. But you still really do feel it. So. And the stud pattern here, this is a crazy stud pattern, very aggressive. Like I said in the beginning of the video, don't use these on AG. I'm using them on AG just because this is the only field I really have available. I don't really have an FG field like nowhere like near me, so it's like the only spot I really have to like test my boots. So yeah, just wouldn't recommend these on AG at all. But I honestly didn't feel like I got stuck or I feel like I didn't get caught. So they're not too bad, but then again, like in a real game scenario where you're making like crazy cuts and stuff like that, then I don't think these are safe at all. I feel like it's a good step forward, but also at the same time a step backwards. Just because the Puma Ultra, the previous model, that one did have the right size and the heel was like there was no issues with the heel. But with this one, like the upper just got softer, which is good, but the heel and the sizing is off. So it's just, like I said, a step forward and then a step backwards. It's just very weird. But yeah, overall, Puma Ultra 5 Carbon, crazy boot, crazy concept boot. Also, if you guys don't see a lot of free kicks and stuff like that, it was because I did start shooting and didn't press record, so I was shooting for like 15 minutes, and I hit some bangers, but I didn't press record, and so that kind of sucks. So there aren't that many free kicks and like shooting stuff going on, which kind of is annoying. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.